Everyone, welcome back to day 5 of December Daily for 2025. Today I am doing a few photos of the sunset and then my husband giving me a foot massage. So I thought that would be perfect to add to my day 5. I'm using a lot of the die cuts from the Tracy Reed kit. I think it's Make It Merry, possibly. I'm not sure if that's the right name or not, but I do have it linked in one of my descriptions, if not this one. And I wanted to make sure that everything just looks cohesive using that same kit. So that's why I decided to use most of those pieces on this particular layout. And I kind of designed what I was going to do before I actually started the video, just because I didn't want the video to be too long. So I did pull out a lot of the pieces, try to figure out kind of what I wanted to set it up like. That's kind of why you see this is coming together like super fast. So now I'm just gluing everything down that I pulled out. I ended up fussy cutting all of these die cuts from the digital kit, but you can also set it so that your Silhouette or Cricut machine will also cut them. I just really enjoy fussy cutting, so I did the fussy cutting myself. I'm just using a variety of adhesives here. I'm using my tape runner and my Beacon 3-in-1 glue. I like both of them, just kind of depends. I don't know. Sometimes I will use like the Beacon usually more for fabric things or something that needs to have a little bit more of, it doesn't like soak in. So like if it's fabric or something that I need it to be a little bit more grippy, I like the Beacon, or the dry stuff like the photos and things like that. I use my tape runner, just kind of depends. I usually just kind of interchange things. And now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to lay everything down here. And I'm going to put the tree on the right hand side, and then this piece, I thought that was a pretty cute little phrase. I added that to the bottom of that photo. Once I get all of these pieces glued down, then I will start working on some of the more, like, I guess, three-dimensional embellishments. So I will end up putting some, what is it called, twine on the page. And you can see here I am trying to figure out which one I want to use. I don't like that thicker one for this. I do pull out my thinner one. I will wrap it around a couple times, and then I think I tie a bow on this. Just wanted some extra texture on this page. And I have that YouTube recap that you can kind of see peeking out on the left-hand side. And I thought that black, it just would be nice to have some more black over here, just to kind of keep making this album cohesive. With the pages not all being the same size and shape, it's nice to kind of just keep making it cohesive throughout the different pages, because you do see that stuff peeking out. So I do like that look, so I do that a lot. I'm just tying a little tiny bow here, and that turned out cute, so I will end up gluing that in the top left of that top photo there. And again, just adding a little bit of a different texture and some dimension to the page so it's not so flat. I'll use my 3-in-1 glue for this just to make sure it really sticks on. Just hold it there for a couple seconds just to make sure it gets good adhesion. And then I thought it was going to stick up a little bit. It wasn't quite laying flat, so I ended up putting a little clip on it just to make sure it sat a little bit better. And I'm just tidying up a couple of these pieces. I don't want them to be flopping up. This is kind of where the spine curves, and I don't want it to be flipping up and getting kind of bent on the spine there. So I'm just making sure everything's sticking down really well. The nice thing about that 3-in-1, it is kind of like almost like a rubber cement, so it's easily able to be kind of rubbed off if you put a little bit too much glue on the page. It works best if you do that sooner than later, but it does work really well. So I pulled out a blast from the past here and pulled out my stickles, and I decided to stickle this page. Don't even know why I even thought about these, but I've had them in my stash for, I don't know, probably since I started scrapbooking forever ago. And this one still worked really well. So I ended up putting some embellishments on the little tree here. This one was a bit more clogged, so I'm going to pull out a pin and unclog this one. It was a little thicker, but it ended up working just fine. I really like the glitter of the page when you put the stickles on, and I think that's perfect for kind of Christmas time anyway. So I think I tend to remember the stickles during Christmas more than any other time. I'm going to pull out this red again. This one's a little bit clogged, and this one is a really more chunky, so I'm kind of just pushing it and rubbing it around a little bit more. Sorry for the shaking. I need to figure out a different way to put my, what is it called, tripod kind of stand. It's clipped to the side of my desk, which before was always fine when I when I had my craft room down in the basement, I guess because it was on carpet and it didn't have that shakiness to it. Now that I'm upstairs on like a laminate floor, for some reason it doesn't seem to be as stable, which I'm kind of surprised about. I think it would be the opposite, but I guess the carpet kind of reduced the shock, I guess, of the movement. So that's maybe why. But I'm just kind of showing you here what colors these are. It's Lagoon, Frosted Lace, and Xmas Red, just in case. I don't even know if they sell stickles anymore. Do they sell stickles anymore? Let me know in the comments below if they sell stickles. I don't even know. When's the last time you used stickles? Have you ever used stickles before? Let me know. So now I wanted to take some twine that will match the twine in the top left on the tag. This time I'm using the thicker twine just to have it be a bit more substantial. I'm just going to tie this on to the tag. While I'm doing that, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I know I'm only on day 5 here. I do have a couple more days that I have completed that I will be posting videos for very shortly. Probably will still be, well, I'm almost 100% positive I will still be scrapbooking my December daily well past Christmas. And I plan to continue to post most of the pages. So if you're interested and you want me to do that, please leave a comment below. Give me a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up too if you're enjoying these video series. It really helps my channel out and it lets me know you guys are interested. I really, really, really appreciate it. So I really wanted to use some twine someplace else, but I kind of play with this for a bit and I ultimately decide that it just isn't going to work. So I don't really add anything else. I think I was going to tie a bow here. I don't think do I end up, oh, maybe I do end up putting a little bow here. Just wanted to give the element of the 3. Yeah, I guess I do put the bow here. I forgot that I kept that. Just finagling it a little bit. Sometimes this twine's a little hard because it is like a twisted, the two colors are twisted together so that when you pull the bow, sometimes it kind of like loops over itself in the loops. It's kind of hard to explain. If you've used twine, you probably know what I'm talking about. So just playing with this and I will tie it, probably way too many times and finally get it to where it's going to look nice. I will have some still photos at the very end so you guys can see the final layout. I will do my journaling on the vintage typewriter that I have. Just really like that look. And you can see that I've been using that vintage typewriter throughout the album so far. And I'll continue to use that. Every once in a while, I will maybe do some handwriting, but in general, in this December daily, I just really like the typewriter. One, I think the vintage typewriter looks cool. Two, I don't know, for some reason, sometimes when I do my handwritten journaling, I feel like it takes away from the layout as far as it just is distracting, if you will. And the vintage typewriter just seems to be a bit more cohesive and just fall nicely or flow better with the page. Now what I'm doing is taking a few little stickers just to add a few more embellishments. I felt like I needed to add a bit more down on the page. So I'm going to pull this Love This sticker. I pulled a heart. And here is my journaling. So I'm just going to cut this up in strips. And then I will glue this to the page. And I believe I spare you some of this. Yes. So here is the end result. I hope you liked the page. I hope you enjoyed the process. If you have any questions, let me know. I am going to add one little thing down here to the circle. I forgot about this label down here. So I will try a couple different things. I really want a candy cane. It seems to fit nicely. Tried a present. I don't really like how the presents are looking. They're either just like the wrong shape or they just don't fill the space properly. I don't know, for my eye. And I will ultimately just pull this candy cane, which I really think is cute. So once I glue this down, you will be seeing some photos here at the end of everything that it looks like close up. If you have any questions, let me know. And again, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it and hope you subscribe. Bye-bye.